final missile at you.
Yay.
This is in the book, the Bloodstate book. It's called The Promise of a Knife in Every Jacket by Christmas. It's a true story. Every single bit of it. This is about October 10th/11th when I read at Boswell Alley. The fella had mass. He was a big dude covered in tattoos, and I pray to God he isn't here tonight. Looked like he may have had some sorts of criminal past, sitting enjoying dinner with his gal. He was listening in on my happenings. I ordered a Pabst Blue Ribbon for myself. I replaced Wicky's High Life that he just killed, got Dave Rose a pop. I handed over a $10 bill to the barkeep, who quickly served up the drinks in the same order they were ordered in. The barkeep was rambling something or other about how the system went down, forcing me to run a tab. I felt a twinge of sadness for this system. It was inevitable that it would fail us. Eventually, though, it will fail us all. Some of us daily, isn't that right, Carrie? So this failure, it was practice. So she handed me back the $10 bill and inquired too, as if I was in the band playing that night. And I love it when that happens. I love it. Because even though I don't feel like I'm a rocker, I look like a rocker. It's happened to me 3 times. I explained to her that I was a poet. Tonight I would read poetry, much like I am now, because that is what poets do. She laughed and said she didn't get that one too often. But nonetheless, a tablet started in my name, and about the same time, the big dude, still enjoying dinner with his gal, interjected and asked if I was the poet, where was the juggler? I wanted to say it was right in the neck, and point viciously to the location of my own juggler fan, like right here. Was he asking for a knife in the neck in some sorts of suicidal way? But I knew what he meant. He was trying to be funny. But I wasn't laughing. I became as serious as a Tanto knife blade. If you don't know what a Tanto knife blade is, Google that shit. It's a very, very serious blade. His girl didn't laugh either. I knew that he knew that I knew what he was getting at. It was a tense moment. How I would respond to this would mean how the night would ultimately go. So Suicide's Ghost Rider began playing loud inside my head as the moment's soundtrack. The song was fitting nicely. Things did not look good. I told him the juggler was running a little behind. The big dude's girlfriend chuckled. She laughed at my remark. I think she thinks I'm funny. I bet he thinks that I think that her laughing is cute. But I don't at this particular time. I don't give any sorts of fuck about anything. But I bet he is thinking that I'm not funny that much. But I'm really thinking that he is thinking that I'm thinking that laugh of hers means something else. But to me, it don't. Like I said, I don't give any sorts of fuck about anything. Suicide is blaring inside my own head at a nearly unbearable volume. The song's still fitting, though. And yeah, I'm thinking about potential trouble here. Like that time at the Buzzcocks concert when I was beat up in the pit. Not really. But let's promise we always do ourselves, shall we? Let's take a moment for humility. Right, that's good. And I ask myself, where's my switchblade when I need it the most? Maybe it's time now to pull it and toss it around a bit to let a motherfucker know you could be close to a cut. Hook, oh dreaded hook of mine, wherefore art thou defensive weapon? The night would have been just as good a night as any to endorse the promise of a knife in every jacket by Christmas. But I am without hook, and my hands are sore from working in the machine shop all day, and really a knife or hook could really act as a deterrent here maybe. Because truthfully, I don't want to fight, but I want to rage and act a fool. I want to read some poetry. I want to drink some beer. Ultimately, truthfully, I want to keep all pig eyes away from me. And all this might seem contradictory to you in some ways, but to my life we got here now, it means a lot. So keep all your bullshit opinions to yourself about me, carrying knives and drinking, because really, I don't give any sorts of fuck about anything. And I'm still not in the fucking mood right now. So I continue my bullshit explanation. I told the big dude that in the pinch, perhaps, Wiki could juggle. And he can juggle. He can ride a unicycle, too. Which seems like a strange and somewhat odd thing to say, considering earlier in the night we both got some strange looks when we were in the bathroom at Creativa. Wiki was taking my picture for my new Twitter account avatar, and I know how it all looks like. I can't deny that, but seriously, pictures were being taken for that reason. But yeah, it was a classic couple dudes moment too, an awkward moment of humored futility shared between two male friends. So when a guy came out of the stall, and there we were snapping away, I told him that he could get his picture taken too, if he wanted. He just shook his head, refused to meet eye contact with Wiki or myself, and said he would leave us alone for a bit. And then he quickly exited. All of it was worth a laugh or two. Then the big dude said something about how much better his beer was than mine, and how much better his beer was than Wiki's. This was not how I thought this whole conversation would go down, but I continued the conversation's course. You see, Big Dude was drinking Christian Moorline, so naturally I said something about that being pretty good beer. It might be better than the High Life, with might being one of those relative words relative to whatever is relative at the moment. Because, and I explained myself, his beer might be better than High Life, and I will go that far. I went that far, but that's as far as I fucking went. But it's definitely not better than PBR, and I swear to God, I meant to have a PBR in my hands. I was just at the bar, and I had to get over here. So, use your imagination if you still have one. I explained how Pabst Blue Ribbon is the best beer. Oh wait, nah, I forgot a quatrain. But it's definitely not better than the PBR. This is where I draw the line. This is where I stand my ground. This is where the last fight will be fought. This is where my hook is about to cut a fuck. And see, I couldn't forget that. That's important shit. I continued explaining how Pabst Blue Ribbon is the best beer of any beer because each one has a blue ribbon on it. If it wasn't good, it wouldn't have the ribbon. They just don't hand out blue ribbons to just anybody for anything for any reason. He smiled. His girl laughed again, and that's not good. The next time I ordered a Pabst Blue Ribbon, I just told the barkeep, give me a winner, and she knew exactly what I meant. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Bessie. I'm Shawn Abnoxious, and I gotta go wipe my butt now. Touchdown! Not really.
It's a minute late with it.
Oh, okay.
Shawn, I got a problem with you, man. I'm the fucking funny one. All right, you win. I love contests. You win.